Peace. This is the enemy's public. I am Bro.Nasir. As elders of young black children, men and women, we must bridge the gap created by forces and a vicious enemy who work day and night to maintain influence over our young, or they will get the ignorant among us to allow themselves to be a liaison of foolishness between us and our enemy. Our enemy use the tricks of attempting to influence us through those who they think influence us. Oftentimes it's a celebrity, someone who is in entertainment, someone who is weak, capitulated and spineless, self-aggrandizing, self-centered, or just don't have our best interests at heart. It's never someone who is uncompromising, strong, and fearless. You see, we cannot lie to these young people. This is the best generation that we've produced. They are fearless, war ready, some of them, yet they lack direction because of the gap. They see each other as each other's enemy. Take this recent election. We have people who were running for office, someone who our enemy prepped up and called our leader. Good for us. Yet they can care less about us. Someone who looks like us, but is not of us. When Cory Booker, Kamala Harris were running for president, black people supported them to a certain extent. Until we in black media started doing our own research on those two people, the hypocrisy of Cory Booker and Kamala Harris is unprecedented. They act as if our young people didn't see them going at each other and Joe Biden. And then when Joe Biden became the forerunner nominee for the presidency of the United States, they hopped on a bandwagon. The same as some of these celebrities, athletes, and media personalities, i.e. Roland Martin, Ricky Smiley, Steve Harvey, etc. Not to mention the so-called civil rights leaders who constantly sell us out. This devil would never do anything for us. So why do we fall for the same obvious tricks every 4 years? The election was in November. How soon do a person's attitude and demeanor change? Joe Biden is and always will be a white supremacist. Don't get it twisted. He didn't forget who helped him get elected. He's just being his own natural self, an ungrateful demon. Which is why I salute Brother Ice Cube for at least introducing a plan on behalf of our people. Because Negroes just want us to go out and vote and have hope that whoever gets the office will do something for us. This is very, very problematic. Now that Biden-Harris was elected, they didn't hesitate. It didn't take long for Joe Biden to tell those who supported them, the Al Sharptons, all these other so-called civil rights leaders, he did not hesitate to tell them to kiss his ass. He didn't say it outright. He said it like this.
A lot of people in our community are getting a little anxious because they are not seeing enough of the progress they thought they would have seen at this point. Let's not disappoint them, and let's not get to a place where voters in Georgia begin to second guess.
Okay, let me respond. I've got to go. Let me respond. There's a lot to respond to here. Let's get something straight. You shouldn't be disappointed. What I've done so far is more than anybody else has done this far. Okay? Number one. Number two, I mean what I say when I say it. I mean what I say when I say it. I'm the only person who's ever run on 3 platforms that I was told could not possibly win the election, and I never ceased from it. One was on restoring the soul of this country because of what I saw happen in Charlottesville. That was it. No one else was talking about it. The words of presidents matter. Nobody else, no progressive, was talking about it. I did.
When Joe Biden gets sworn in at the inauguration, what makes black people think that he's going to automatically start doing something for us? Why? Because he said it? Since when did a president-elect or a president who's sworn in did anything for black people? To all those who put their faith in this white man and these elected officials, all I can say is, I'll see you in 4 years.
Debates when you'd have some of the people you were supporting said, on day one, I'm going to executive order to do this. Not within the constitutional authority. I am not going to violate the Constitution. There is a Constitution. It's our only hope. Our only hope. And the way to deal with it is where I have executive authority, I will use it to undo every single damn thing this guy has done by executive authority. But I'm not going to exercise executive authority where it's questioned, where I can come along and say, I can do away with assault weapons. There's no executive authority to do away with that. And no one's fought harder to get rid of assault weapons than me. Me. But you can't do it by executive order. If you do that, next guy comes along and says, well, guess what? By executive order, I'm going to say everybody can own machine guns again. So we got to be careful. I know you all know this. I know you know it.
When a person show you through action and tell you who they are, you should believe them. 40 plus years, Joe Biden has been telling us and showing us who he is. If you don't believe it, if you have faith in him, that he would do something for you, instead of having faith in ourselves and pooling our resources and united and loving each other as brothers and sisters, until we can do that, all I can say is, if you have faith in Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, I'll see you in 4 years.
We must take back the streets. It doesn't matter whether or not the person that is accosting your son or daughter or my son or daughter, my wife, your husband, my mother, your parents. It doesn't matter whether or not they were deprived as a youth. It doesn't matter or not whether or not they had no background that enabled them to become socialized into the fabric of society. It doesn't matter whether or not they're the victims of society. The end result is they're about to knock my mother on the head with a lead pipe, shoot my sister, beat up my wife, take on my sons. So I don't want to ask what made them do this. They must be taken off the street. That's number one. There's a consensus on that. Unless we do something about that cadre of young people, tens of thousands of them, born out of wedlock, without parents, without supervision, without any structure, without any conscience developing, because they literally, I yield myself 3 more minutes, because they literally have not been socialized. They literally have not had an opportunity. We should focus on them now. If we don't, they will, or a portion of them will, become the predators 15 years from now. And Madam President, we have predators on our streets that society has, in fact, in part because of its neglect, created. Again, it does not mean because we created them that we somehow forgive them or do not take them out of society to protect my family and yours from them. They are beyond the pale, many of those people. Beyond the pale. And it's a sad commentary on society. We have no choice but to take them out of society. And the truth is, we don't very well know how to rehabilitate them at that point. That's the sad truth. I'm the guy that said rehabilitation, when it occurs, we don't understand it and notice it. And even when we notice it and we know it occurs, we don't know why. So you cannot make rehabilitation a condition for release. That's why in our system, the federal system, you serve 85% of your time. It's a shame, but we don't know how to rehabilitate. But there is a consensus, and I will cease. A, we must make the streets safer. I don't care why someone is a malfactor in society. I don't care why someone is antisocial. I don't care why they become a sociopath. We have an obligation to cordon them off from the rest of society, try to help them, try to change their behavior. That's why we do in this bill. We have drug treatment and we have other treatments to try to deal with it. But they are in jail, away from my mother, your husband, our families. But we would be absolutely stupid as a society if we didn't recognize the condition that nurtured those folks still exist. And we must deal with that.
We must stop falling for the same tricks, brothers and sisters. No one is going to contribute to our salvation. That is our job and our job alone. So what we need to do is just organize, strategize, and deputize, as General Abdul Karim Muhammad said. He's been telling me this for years. And all we need to do, brothers and sisters, is unite and be on one accord. Get on code. Do for self. And not worry about what's going on with other people. It doesn't make us a racist to just do for self. And if you are one who wait and sit back for the president, the vice president, or any elected official to do something for you, if you think Joe Biden and Kamala Harris is going to behave in a benevolent manner, I see you in 4 years. This is The Enemy's Public, and I'm Bro.Nasir. Like, share, and subscribe. Leave a comment in the comment section. Peace.